In previous class, we were discussing about plasmolysis. So this plasmolysis is a phenomena where the living plant loses water through osmosis. When it loses water through osmosis, there is a shrinkage of the content of the cell away from the cell wall. This phenomena is called as a plasmolysis. So what happens here is the cell wall remains intact. The content inside the cytoplasm, inside the cell, that is the cytoplasm and other organelles, shrink due to the loss of water through osmosis. And here we see the cell wall is not getting affected anyway. So, the cell wall permits the cell of plants, fungi, and bacteria to withstand very dilute hypotonic external media without bursting. Now, let us discuss about the nucleus. So, this is the second prominent organelle which is observed under the microscope, whether either it is in a plant cell or animal cell. So nucleus is a dark colored spherical or oval dot like structure near the center of a cell called nucleus. The nucleus plays a central role in cellular activities or reproduction. The chromatin materials get organized into chromosomes. The chromosomes contains information for inheritance of features from parents to the next generation in the form of DNA. DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, and protein molecules. The functional segment of DNA are called the genes. So, the nucleus is the most important cell organelle which directs and controls all its cellular activities. It is called as headquarter of the cell. It was discovered by Robert Brown in 1831. In eukaryotes, a well-defined nucleus is present, while in prokaryote, a well-defined nucleus is absent. Prokaryotes contains a primitive nucleus. It has double-layered covering called nuclear membrane. Nuclear membrane has a pore which regulate the movement of materials in and out of the cell. Beside nuclear membrane, nucleus also contains nucleolus and a chromatin material, and the substance filled inside the nucleus is the nucleolus. So chromosomes or chromatin materials consist of a DNA which stores and transmit hereditary information for the cell to function, grow and reproduce. So let us see what is the function of nucleus. The first function is it controls all the metabolic activities of the cell and regulates the cell cycle. And the second, it helps in transmission of hereditary characters from parents to offspring. So children, let now we discuss about the prokaryote and the eukaryote. As the nucleus plays an important role, here we see there are two types of cell based on the organization. The nucleus, the prokaryote are the group of organisms that lack the nucleus or any other membrane bound organelles, whereas a eukaryotic cell is an organism which whose cells contain a complex structure enclosed within the membrane. So membrane plays a very important role. As we see nowadays, the coronavirus is very popular. As we see, the viruses are excluded from the cell theory. Why means these viruses they do not have a membrane and they are not included in a living organism. They are when they come in contact with any living organism, they take up the machinery of the living organism and they continue to multiply. The basis of types of organization, there are two types of cells, prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells. Prokaryotic cells, if we compare the prokaryotic cell with eukaryotic cells, they are very minute in size, whereas prokaryotic cells are fairly large in size. The nuclear region in prokaryote is called as nucleoid because it is not surrounded by the nuclear membrane. The genetic material is kept open. In eukaryotic, the nuclear material is surrounded by a nuclear membrane. The single chromosomes are present in prokaryotic cells and more than one chromosome is present in eukaryotic cell. Nucleolus is absent, nucleolus is present. Membrane bound organelles are absent in prokaryote, whereas membrane bound organelles are present in eukaryotic cells. Cell division by fission or budding means the parent cell itself break and forms two new cells, whereas in eukaryotic cells there is a cell division of two types. It is called mitotic cell division and meiotic cell division. Mitotic means the in the somatic cell division, that is the body, the number of cell increases and the height and the increase in the height of the organism, or the organism grow in development is possible. Meiosis means this is the gametes. Now let us move on to the third prominent part which is visible under the microscope, that is the cytoplasm. The cytoplasm was discovered by Kolliker in 1862. It is the site of both biosynthetic and catabolic pathways, means all the cellular activities which we consider as respiration, then repairing of the material or formation of new materials, all these are possible in the cytoplasm because it contains the main components, that is the organelles. So it can be divided into two parts, that is cytosol, which is a aqueous soluble part containing various fluid fibrous proteins forming cytoskeleton, and the second is the cell organelle. So cell organelles are the living part of the cell having definite shape, structure and function, bounded by a plasma membrane. So here the cell organelles are the components of the cell which help in all cellular activities. There is a division of labor in case of the cell. As we see, there is a division of labor in multicellular organism for, for, for for performing various activities like respiration, digestion, excretion. In the same way, in the cell also there is a division of labor. There are various components or parts of the cell which are embedded in the cytoplasm which performs different activities. There are these cell organelles can be classified into two types, membranous and non-membranous. Let us discuss about the membranous organelles. So here endoplasmic reticulum. It is the network of membrane present in the cytoplasm. Was discovered by Porter, Cloud and Fulham. These are present in all cells except prokaryotes and the mammalian erythrocytes. Endoplasmic reticulum is of two types based on presence or absence of the ribosomes. So the types are smooth endoplasmic reticulum and rough endoplasmic reticulum. So let us discuss about smooth and rough endoplasmic reticulum. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum is made up of tubules mainly, helps in steroid, lipids, and polysaccharide synthesis. Ribosomes are absent. Ribosomes are absent. Helps in membrane biogenesis. Membrane biogenesis means some of the lipids and proteins which are synthesized in smooth endoplasmic reticulums. This material is utilized to in the formation of new cell membrane. Rough endoplasmic reticulum is made up of cristae and vesicles. Vesicles are the round ball or sac-like structure. It helps in protein synthesis. Contains ribosomes on its surface. Now let us discuss about the function of ER, that is endoplasmic reticulum. It is the only organelle which can move within a cell, so it serves as a channel for the transport of material between various regions of cytoplasm and between the cytoplasm and the nucleus. It also functions as a cytoplasmic framework to provide space for some of the biochemical activities. It forms endoskeleton of cell. It helps in synthesis of fats, steroids, cholesterol, etc. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum plays a crucial role in detoxifying of drugs and poisonous byproducts in vertebrates. Now let us discuss about the Golgi apparatus. It was first described by scientist Camillo Golgi. It is a system of membrane-bound vesicles called cisterns. Its functions include the storage, modification, and package of the cell product. The complex sugars are made from simple sugars in the Golgi apparatus. It is also involved in the formation of lysosomes. One way In one way, you can call the Golgi apparatus as a transport manager, as it is involved in storage, modification, and packaging of the cell products. In plants, Golgi membrane is bounded. It is single membrane bounded. It is absent in prokaryotes, mammalian, RBCs, and sieve cells. Now let us see the function of Golgi apparatus. It helps in formation of lipids. It helps in formation of middle lamella. It is secretory in nature. It helps in melanin synthesis, lipids and protein synthesis in endoplasmic reticulum are packed or at Golgi complex. They provide a site for they provide the site for assembly of materials. Now let us see one more membrane bound organelle which is called the powerhouse of the cell. Mitochondria. Mitochondria, it is a rod shaped structure found in the endoplasmic and cytoplasm of eukaryotic cells except mammalian RBCs. They are also absent in prokaryotes. It was first seen by Kolliker in insect cell. Maximum mitochondria are found in metabolic active cells. It is also called as a powerhouse of the cell or a storage battery. It is double membranous structure where outer membrane has specific protein while inner membrane is folded inside to form the chambers called the cisternae. So mitochondria is a double layered formed by double layered membrane. The outer membrane is simple whereas inner membrane is folded and the inner folded membrane is called as a cristae. It is it encloses the fluid material, the matrix, wherein DNA, ribosomes, and other materials are present. The site for cellular activities stores the energy during respiration in the form of ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Function of mitochondria. Its main function is to produce energy in the form of ATP. ATP is the adenosine triphosphate. It is the site for Krebs cycle of respiration. Now let us see what is ribosome. Ribosomes are the non-membranous organelles. These are also called as the protein factories. Ribosomes are the site for protein synthesis. All structural and functional protein enzymes coded by the nuclear DNA are synthesized upon cytoplasmic ribosomes. The DNA codes are transcribed into messenger RNA molecules in the chromosomes of the nucleus. So the function of ribosome. Ribosome are the main site of protein synthesis. They produce the proteins, and this synthesized proteins or produced proteins is transported by the endoplasmic reticulum. This is the structure of ribosomes, the dot-like structure which are found on the long tubule endoplasmic reticulum. These dot-like structures or granules are the ribosomes. Lysosomes, they contains membrane-bound sacs with powerful digestive enzymes. They are also known as the suicidal bags or the suicidal bags of the cell. It is a waste disposal system of the cell. They are tiny sac-like granules containing enzymes of intercellular digestion. They are bounded by a single membrane. They occur in animal cells and a few plant cells. They do not have a definite shape or size. The, func- the function, their main function is phagy, that is digestion. They are kind of waste disposal system. They help in digesting foreign materials and cells. Now, an important part of the lysosome is they are called suicidal bags. Why they are called suicidal bag means during disturbance in cellular metabolism, that is, in case of cell damage, lysosome burst, and their enzymes are released into cytoplasm and they digest their own cells. So they are also called as a suicidal bag of. There is another organelle present in only and only in the plant cell, that is the plastids. They are present only in plastids. They are of two types, that is chromoplast and leucoplast. Chromoplast and leucoplast. It is a double membranous discoidal structure found only in plant cell. Beside being discoidal or rhombic in plant cell, they occur in variable shapes like in algae. They can be U-shaped, spiral, coiled, ribbon-shaped, etc. Depending upon the type of pigment present in them, they are of following three types. The first is leucoplast. Leucoplast is colorless. It is found in underground parts, that is in the root region of the plant. Chromoplast, which is having a coloring pigment red and brown other than green. Chloroplast, which is green in color, found in the aerial parts of the plant, that is in the leaf region. They are found only in plant cell. It helps in the process of photosynthesis, so it is called the kitchen of the plant. This diagram is of chloroplast, which contains outer and inner membrane, and there is a coins arranged one above the other. This structure is called thylakoid, and the yellow part is called as a stroma, which is a fluid matrix inside the chloroplast. So here we see the chloroplast have the following two parts, that is the grana. It constitute the lamellar system. These are found layered on the top of each other. They stack. These stacks are called grana. Each granum of the chloroplast is formed by the superimposed closed compartment called the thylakoid. The function of this grana is they are the site of light reaction of photosynthesis as they contain photosynthetic pigment chlorophyll. In each thylakoid, quantasomes are present which are called as a photosynthetic units. The second part seen in chloroplast is the stroma. It is a granular, transparent substance, also called as a matrix. Grana are embedded in it. Beside grana, they also contains lipid droplets, starch grains, ribosomes, etc. The function. This is the site of dark reaction of photosynthesis, also helps in protein synthesis due to the presence of ribosomes. During during the during absence of light, the reaction takes place in the stroma region. Vacuoles are the storage sac for solid or liquid contents. They are small in size in animals while plants have large, may occupy 50 to 90% of cell volume, helps to provide turgidity and rigidity to the cell, that is toughness and a firm structure. Many substances like amino acids, sugars, organic acids and proteins are stored in vacuoles. In amoeba, there are two types of vacuoles. One is the food vacuole, is a food vacuole which is specialized to play an important role, and another is contractile vacuole which stores the waste material. So vacuoles are present in animal cell as well as plant cell, but in plant cell they are large in size, whereas in animal cell they are smaller in size. Here it helps in maintaining osmotic pressure in a cell and stores toxic metabolic products of the plants. So children, here this is a comparison of animal cell and plant cell. You have to practice this both diagrams. We'll compare the comparison of plant cell and animal cell. These are the parts which we are going to compare in plants and animal cell. Cell membrane is present in plant cell as well as animal cell. Cell wall is present in plant cell but absent in animal cell. Nucleus present in both cells. Nuclear membrane present in both cells. Cytoplasm present in both cells. Plastid, it is present in plant cell but absent in animal cell. Vacuole present in plant cell, it is larger in size, whereas in animal cell it is smaller in size. So children, here we end the chapter fundamental unit of life. So the conclusion of this chapter is that why the cell is uh, called as a basic structural and functional unit of organism, because each cell acquires its structure and ability to function because of the organization of its membrane and organelles in specific way. The cell thus has a basic structural organization. This helps the cell to perform functions like respiration, obtaining nutrition, and clearing of the waste material or forming a new protein. Thus, the cell is the fundamental structural unit of living organism. It is also the basic functional unit of life.